in, I'm gonna show you backstage. So we always have at least 3 breakaway chairs ready for every night because we have to use 2, and just to make sure if anything happens to one of them, that we have a spare. This is the chair that I get hit with. I think I've been hit with at least 1,400 chairs. So they have to glue it back together every night because actually I think one of these cost $150, so we don't want to spend that every night, so we repurpose them. So they glue it here, here. These things also fly off. And then these things are actually just one solid piece. So depending on how hard they want to hit me, yeah. As you can see, it looks amazing. Sometimes does not feel all that amazing. So they have to be careful of hitting the back mat that I have in my dress, which is just from my shoulders down to like my waist, because I don't want to get this on my head or my neck. That chair. Gotta love that chair. So this is my beautiful bucket of beans. Just white, great northern beans. We have tried quite a few beans. I need them to be very smooth in texture so that it's easy for me to spit them out. I was in the show. It was a lot of running. I was kind of gassed out at that point. I get punched in the face, and then I filled my hand with beans, and I went to go put them in, and as soon as I did that, I inhaled, and one of the beans just went flying. There's like a flap here that separates your lungs from your stomach. I found out 2 months later when a camera was put up my nose to figure out why I was still feeling the pain from it, that I tore the flap with a bean. We actually never found out where the bean went. He was like, well, I think you ingested it, but I'm just not sure. It's not there, at least.
Walking the wire is sort of like riding a bike for me. I can always walk a wire, but I'm not going to be in my best shape unless I keep up the skill, especially after the accident. It's a little harder, so it's good to keep up condition here and there. There's different techniques. My technique is that I like to touch my toe on the wire and slide it a little bit into the step rather than stomping down, rather than putting your foot fully down, because I want to know for sure that my foot is in the right spot before I transfer my weight. I usually look at the end of the wire where I'm going. I'm not looking down at my feet. I'm looking at my destination. It's also important to hold the balancing pole in the right way. You always want to curl your wrists. You don't want to have your arms down like that. You want to hold the pole up just above your belly button. Curl your wrist, elbows in. And when I'm training someone new, I say to kind of imagine that the center of the pole is screwed into your belly and the pole moves up and down from there. There's none of this sideways motion, because then your body's gonna move to counterbalance. You're usually holding people above you on a bar on your shoulders, and you have to stay rock solid so you don't move the bar above you. So it's super important to have really strong biceps and balance with just your arms. And so often training is just doing laps back and forth several times so you build that strength in your arms. You don't just do it once. You do it 3 times is usually my rule of thumb. It really is my passion, and you kind of forget when you're in the day-to-day, because I love my job at Absinthe as well. And you just kind of get the hustle and the bustle and getting my kid to school and this and that. And then I come out here and practice and I'm like, oh, this is living. It's silly, but I do. I love the weight of the balancing pole in my hands and all of that. The feeling of the wire sliding across my feet. It really is just my passion.
Leanna and Mark are our costume department at Absinthe, and they're the people we're going to be working with to make the quick change costumes.
Now remember, some of this is mock-ups.
Yeah.
So we're just showing there's obviously some patterning that we work out. But it gives you the gist of kind of where we are.
So we're really lucky that we can work today with Liana and Mark, who are both really talented costume makers.
This act's a little different than most of the costumes we do at Absinthe. This is a quick change, magic sort of act.
So we have lots of secrets with the quick change costumes, but not even the wardrobe knows them all.
Yeah, it's got a little stretch.
It's gonna be so good.
I don't know if it was too thick of a fabric. I'm not sure how, this is thin, but it's not gonna have much structure, right? It's gonna be floppy. Look, it's not gonna look like leather, you know? There are a ton of wardrobe changes in this act.
The secrets are kept between just me and Mirko, actually. So they'll make parts of the costumes and we'll get them, and then once we get them, no one else ever sees them ever again. And we keep the secrets to ourselves. Having a good communication with your team is crucial to a quick change act because everything has to work perfectly.
Wardrobe by committee on the size of the nipple placement.
I think I like the smaller one, but if it was sparklier. Usually you have one costume for the act, but they're going to be changing their looks throughout the act. So there's quite a few looks that we have to accomplish for them. Okay.
I wonder if
this one like a little bit of color, like it's just like.
Today we are rehearsing the new quick change act here in the Circus Town. Yep. Oh yeah, I'm hidden. There, that was it.
Now I'm sort of wondering why you're just going from the stage to that box and why you're not just staying on the piano stage.
That's a very good point.
I mean, I kind of like, I don't know, I can't decide because I like the keeping you at a height, but I also like the movement of it.
I think it's just, if I come down here, he waved that flag over and I'm like, wow, oh,
Like, woo!
don't get me. And then I run up and it's like, don't chase me, don't get me.
When he waves the flag in front of you there, it does look like that half of the audience is going to expect that you're wearing a different outfit when that flag comes down.
I could go like this. Do you know what I'm telling you? If I just did that,
As
if I
long-
went over and I bet I could get one of the loudest applauses in the show. That's a lie. No.
Quite possibly.
Today is a special day because we are stepping through the entire act. It's about the music, about the timing, about the spacing, but we're doing everything without the actual costumes and without the quick change bags, which makes it a little bit hilarious because that's the main part of the act, and cutting all these parts out makes it look a little bit like, look and feel like nothing. But I mean, it is there in our head. I think it's just funny for other people who don't know what it's actually going to be like in the end on stage.
Went wonderful. Really good rehearsal today. Everything is going as planned. Could be happier.
Today is the day.
Feeling a little nervous, but excited.
I feel like this is what we've been rehearsing for. Now it's time to shine and finally do it on stage.
Everybody ready? Bruce, you ready? Yeah. Good? Okay. Do we need to run anything? Do we need to run stuff again or just have a conversation? Okay. Maybe we can run stuff again, but yeah. I'm so excited.
The hardest part of this act is having him stand on my shoulders and I gracefully change from a superhero to a sailor. Now, it is a lot of work. He is really heavy and I should be on top of him.
It is really challenging for him and for me to stand up there but
I don't get what you're saying. I have really big muscles, and the rest of the castmates are jealous.
We've got a new performer from Australia called Louis. He is the right act. He came and auditioned for me here, and it was so great and so perfect for us that Ross was out in Nipton, and someone suggested I take him out there, so we took him out there and auditioned him.
It was a family weekend in Nipton, and Julie decided to crash it with a wiener act, so it worked out.
It was some of my best work.
Mums and kids and dads and all walks of life there. I did one of my tamer acts for the kids. And then they took the kids away, promised them ice cream, and I got to do what I do for the adults.
Ross basically hired him on the spot.
Here we are. Here we are putting him into the show.
Don't touch that.
He arrived 2 weeks late because of visa problems, and our lighting designer was going away, so we lit the act to his audition video and teched it in 90 minutes. That would normally take about a week.
So we're gonna run it from the top of his act and then see everything works.
A lot of my idols were old school circus performers. Vaudevillian humour and pratfalls and slapstick, and I love all of that. There's a lot of me getting caught in my costumes, integrated with some half-decent yo-yo tricks. And then I'd bear all, pretty much.
What gave you the idea to use your penis in the act? I've never had to ask that question before.
Yeah, right.
I've been doing this for 25 years.
Well, I think it's a natural transition, no, for any young boy. That looks fun. I'm going to stick my in it.
It is really important that you don't go into the dark there. Got him in the light there, then he comes down stage, and just for that moment there, when he's really doing that trick, that's kind of the trick of the act, isn't it?
That's the original, and then I found out that I could do that one. Well, one's technically called a stopover, and the other one's called a windmill.
Were they originally designed to be done with your wrist?
Your finger, yeah.
With your finger? Yeah. Okay.
You know how I do the fall at the end? So I can swap yo-yos to the offhand yo-yo, so I can do no hands.
I'd never seen you swap yo-yos. That's how good you are.
My first question, why?
I think the answer to that is why not? We keep pushing the envelope on this show, and that's the next push. Louis, have you ever lost the sock?
One time.
What one time? And I've never got that thing back either.
Are you getting comfortable on the stage now? Okay, great.
Put me in tomorrow.
If I can rewrite the show, I mean, I could put you in tonight if I could rewrite the show, but Ty will murder me.
It's all good. He'll go in when it's ready.
Well, you're ready.
Yeah.
At Nipton, we had this rehearsal, and it is difficult to have this low ceiling and shoot the tricks in that kind of condition.
So it's making our rehearsal really hard, but we always can go outside, and fresh air, good weather, it helps a lot for good training.
Circus people always looking for acrobats. They're trying to take the people from sport. All the circuses make audition in different countries with acrobats and high level. This one is more difficult because we're very close to the public, to the audience. Very close.
Nipton is cool to be there and to rehearse there, and it's remind me my childhood, because we often go at least 1 month in the summer somewhere in the forest to practice. So Nipton remind me that a little bit because you're practice on fresh air, like under the sun. So it's remind me of my childhood, and for me it's just warm feeling to be there.
My name is Hazel Honeysuckle. I am the Green Fairy at Absinthe. The Green Fairy ushers you into this like magical world of absinthe where crazy things you never imagined were possible can happen. Yeah, when you're doing your stage makeup, it's bigger, it's darker, because those lights will really wash out anything you put on. Contouring's done. See? You can, look at that nose. It sticks right out there. Glitter is a very important part of a burlesque performer's makeup. Glitter gets everywhere. It's the STD of the burlesque world. Very shy normally. Green Fairy can get away with anything. So the makeup's done first, but I think I'm not really the Green Fairy until the wig goes on. There she is. Hold on, there's more glitter. Will you be able to tell these aren't real diamonds? And then the pasties. This pair I wear only on my one show days because they're very pointy at the tips. This is one of the most complicated things. It has 6 different hooks in it. So the fishnets have the waistband removed. But the old showgirl trick is to put some hooks inside it so you can make sure that everything stays in place. And that's how you get dressed as the Green Fairy. And this is burlesque.
This will be the image which captures what the hook is all about. Matthias asked us to find an indoor pool in Atlantic City to do the shoot, and we looked everywhere and just could not find an indoor pool which would give us the space to do this photography. So he said, don't worry, I'll build you a pool. So here we are. Matthias got here at about 8 o'clock this morning. He's got about 2 hours to build the pool, set up his lighting equipment, set up his camera equipment. The first artist is due here in about an hour and a half to have their makeup done, and somehow there's going to be a set. I don't know. We're working with Matthias Klamer, who's like one of the world's most in-demand photographers. He's a master at working with light and creating this theatrical world. He's drilling, he's sawing, he's putting it all together. He almost broke his finger putting the platforms on the stands earlier, but he seems okay. We'll see. I'm not convinced. There's not much water pressure yet. It's got to come eventually. Perhaps we just unravel it more. It's coming now. It's not going to take that long. It's always half full. We started filling the pool with water, but I think the biggest worry is if the plastic doesn't hold, there's nowhere for the water to go, and we flood the warehouse, which is my biggest concern. And we have no more plastic if this breaks.
I think we should try and heat that up as much as we can, and then the hot water we add will be supplemental.
Yeah, okay. issue is how we keep the water warm, so we're trying to use every mechanism we have.
Phew. It's definitely warm.
If the artists get cold, they're doing contortions and they're just wearing swimwear, so they'll get a pneumonia, then we won't be able to rehearse, so it's really important.
Here we've got actually a swimming pool, which they've filled up with a bit of water, so we're going to be posing above the water and hopefully making a nice reflection.
So the boilers aren't making enough hot water to heat the pool, so this is our solution to try and keep the water warm. I'm just heating it up in this little coffee maker. I'm sure in a proper photography studio they'd have a solution for this, but we're in a warehouse in Pleasantville, Atlantic City. The concept for the photo shoot that our graphic designers have come up with is the idea that our circus performers are sirens or mermaids who are in the ocean at the end of the pier in Atlantic City, and they're coming out of the water and they're beckoning people to come to the hook, luring people in with the beautiful marquee sign of the hook reflecting in the water like an end of the pier carnival vibe.
Being in the water, I can be more natural. Doing mermaid is very natural for me. I don't think about anything like, okay, I need to do this pose or that pose. I just be natural. The choreographer told me you're gonna be like a badass. So I'll be like a very strong woman. I wanna surprise audiences as much as possible. I wanna give them like shocking and exciting.
You can either be in this like shallow, like a future.
Face is more flirtatious. Maybe it goes into a smile.
So yeah, just go through a range of different emotions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. They look really good.
Thank you so much. It all came together and I just couldn't be more delighted. It's been a long day, like 10 hours almost, and everyone's exhausted, but we made it. I'm really happy. But we still got the kettles boiling, just in case the water gets cold.
If you love circus and can't get enough, check out more videos from Circus Town. And please subscribe so you never miss a trick.